Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole, and today I'm going to share with you something that I absolutely love to do when my upper back is feeling really tight or rounded over. So this is a pretty common thing to experience, especially in the upper back. When the shoulders start to draw forward, the upper back starts to round over, and when we hold that shape for an extended period of time, sometimes it feels difficult to open up and find more spinal extension. Now, there are different stretches that we can do to help target and open up the front side of the body, but sometimes it feels like all we really want is to have a little bit of push or pressure on the upper back to help it draw forward and open up a little bit more tightness in that upper back area. So that's what we're going to do today. This is one of my favorite movements, and all you need is a block. Now, I have a cork block, and the cork blocks have a little bit more weight and density to them so that it will help to add that little bit of pressure or weight that we're looking for to push into the upper back. If you have a foam block, that also works. It's just a little softer. So it's all up to you as to what you want or what you have to work with. If you are using a cork block or a wooden block, just keep in mind they're a little heavier. So make sure you have a good grip and stability over your prop. So all you're going to need is your block and a wall space. So you're going to make your way to a wall space. We're going to use that as resistance to help push the block into our upper back to find that thoracic opening. So we're going to hold the block so that the fingers are right in the middle, holding it perpendicular to its length. So whatever long way, I want you to turn that sideways and then hold with your fingertips right in the center. Okay. Now you can always adjust where your fingertips go, and we'll know once we get into it. I'll show you first what we're going to be looking at, and then we'll do it together. So as you take your block into your fingertips, I'm going to reach it up and over my head. Now, as I do, there's going to be a corner or an edge that's going to make contact with my upper back or shoulder area. So as I lift it up and over, you'll notice that edge of the block is touching between my shoulder blades. Now, this is going to indicate where I'm pushing into my upper back, and we can make those adjustments once we get into the position. So once you're here, I'm going to lower my elbows down to the ground, and I'm going to walk close to the wall. You can stay on your elbows and your knees here. And then with the block attached to my upper back or shoulder area, I'm going to draw my weight forward until I feel the other side of the block make contact with the wall. Now, I really want to make sure that as I connect with the wall, it's not just the corner or the edge that's touching the wall. I want it to be really stable. So I'm going to find that short edge of the block, and I'm going to really start to level it out with the wall so it's nice and stable and grounded, okay? Now, once I have that stability, now I can really adjust the block higher, or I can lower it down. And as I bring my back to the block, I can adjust as to where it's touching on my upper back or shoulder area. Now, depending on your flexibility, it might be a little bit more difficult to adjust. So stick wherever it feels most comfortable for you. Once I find that space, I'm simply going to lift my knees off the ground, and then I'm going to walk the feet in as much as I can. It doesn't matter if they walked far or not. And then pressing through the feet to really push my back into the block to feel that opening. Now, if I want to adjust, I can lower it down on the back, or I can lift it up higher. And then when I'm done, I'm going to drop my knees and come out. Now, once again, it's really important that as you come to the wall, it's not just the edge that we're trying to balance on. Okay, we have that flushness of the block connected to the wall. And the upper back can really touch anywhere. It doesn't have to be flush. It can touch near the edge or the corner. You'll feel that out for yourself. So we're going to do this. We're going to hold it. We're going to breathe, and we're going to do it again 2 times through. Okay. If you need to come out sooner, listen to your body. Hold on to your block perpendicular to its length. Bring it up and over your head. Feel that point of contact with your back. It's okay if it separates a little bit, just so we know it's there. Come towards your wall space and hinge over, elbows to the ground. Walk your elbows in. You can lift your hips up. Come into almost like a tabletop with your elbows on the ground. And then bring the block so its short edge is flush with the wall. Then bring your back to the block. Adjust it higher or lower. Hold it with your fingertips. And then tuck your toes, lift your knees, walk the feet in as much as you can. And then the more you push into your feet to try to push your back into the block, the more depth and opening that you're going to find in that thoracic spine. This should feel pretty good. If you need to come out sooner, once again, just drop into a child's pose. Once you're really firmly in the position, you can even release your fingers from the block. Just make sure they're somewhere nearby so you can catch your block when you're done. Give yourself a few breaths here. Now reconnect fingers to blocks if they adjusted. Walk the feet back a little bit until you can drop the knees, sink into a little child's pose or any position that feels good for you. Give yourself a few breaths. We're going to do that again. And hopefully the second round will go through. You might find a little more depth as well. The deeper we breathe, the more we can access that space. So that's where the emphasis is going to be on this next round. When you're ready, go ahead and come back up. Hold on to the block, bring it over your head, hinge forward, elbows down. You can walk the knees back a little bit or walk them forward. Really find that edge of the block, connect it with the wall, hold on to it with your fingertips. Bring your upper back to the block, find that right edge. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips, walk the feet in. Adjust the block if you'd like, maybe a slightly different area. And then press into the feet, press the back into the block, and just feel that opening here. Now, as you settle into this position and you feel a lot of sensation, really resist the urge to hold your breath. Focus on your breath moving in and out of your nose, really full and expansive. Let's take 2 more deepened breaths. And then slowly drop the knees. Coming out of the position, you can set the block off to the side and just settle into a child's pose here. Let the hips drop back. Let the spine relax forward and down. Hands can draw in front of you or drop the hands back behind you if that feels better. Take a couple breaths. And when you're ready, come all the way up into a seated position. So you can tell just by going through that one movement that it can create a lot of space into the upper back. Like mentioned, we can use stretches on our mats to help open up the front side of the body and to create space in the upper back. But this one actually applies that little added pressure and weight to help just open up a little bit more deeply. So I would love to hear your feedback on this as well, if it's something that felt really good for your body. And if it does, I would recommend doing this on a very regular basis. Do it in the evening time after a long day to reverse that rounding forward, to draw the shoulders back and open up more into the thoracic spine. We're going to close out with the breath together. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Close your eyes. Relax your breath all the way out. Take a deep and intentional breath in. Really fill up the space of your torso with air. Expand it all the way up into your upper back and your heart space. All that additional space you've created. Hold it. And then open up the mouth and exhale. Let it all the way out. Sealing the lips, breathing in and out of your nose. Thank your body for all that it does for you. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide. Open up your eyes when you're ready. Hopefully you're feeling open and ready. You feel nice and aligned and stacked through your spine. Once again, I would always love to hear your feedback. Share with someone you think may enjoy. And I'm looking forward to practicing with y'all again soon. Thanks so much.